I speak about the importance of art as a form of political and social expression, with an aim to reflect the times. My next guest embodies this notion. He's a street artist who uses mixed mediums to create some of the most amazing political art and murals I've ever seen. His art ranges from political satire to a critique of the socioeconomic system that controls our lives. And it's so compelling that it's sparked much controversy as well as admiration from those who see it. So joining me now from our New York studio is muralist and artist, LA studio, Mear One. Thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, thank you.
So, Mear, have you always done political art? Was there something specifically that drove you to start using art to relay a political message?
Yeah, I've kind of always had a political edge to my work, but in the, I guess the Reagan administration, I became more aware of political conversation and adding that into my art. Saw the works of Robbie Connell on the streets of LA and other political artists. It was really inspiring to me.
Awesome. Well, it's really hard to do murals. I've only done one in my life, but it was really difficult, and that's why I admire your work so much, because I know how hard it is, and you do a lot of incredible, inspirational murals. I wanted to take a look at some of them for our audience. I wanted to show the Freedom for Humanity, a mural that you did in London. It depicts the all-seeing eye, bankers sitting across a monopoly board on the backs of pretty much humanity. You have nuclear destruction in the background, chains, machine gears, and a guy saying New World Order is the enemy. Talk about this piece.
It's kind of an allegory of how I see the world currently right now and how it's been for a long time. I feel like we're all living under some level of economic slavery in this world, all producing products and material goods for some cause that never really seems to benefit the majority of us people in here, and we're just continually dying off while the wealthy live these lives of luxury. And the mural was, in a sense, you know, framing that concept, and
Absolutely.
I wanted to make people aware of this and make it kind of popular to talk about. Some of these subjects are, you'll bring them up to people and people think you're nuts or you're a conspiracy theorist or a series of different, you know, terms they'll call you. But at the end of the day, these things are really happening, and it's important to open our eyes to it and wake up and add it to our conversation.
Well, that's what's so great about your art, because it really speaks to people that sometimes words can't get across, but when you see an image, it can affect you so profoundly. And, you know, it was so controversial, in fact, that this mural actually made worldwide headlines. There was an article from the Daily Mail that said, banking protest mural resembles Nazi anti-Semitic propaganda, and it was supposed to be removed from the East End. I mean, what the hell was this about?
Well, I feel that the message of my mural got kind of taken away by some hysterical story that these were Nazi propaganda characters, when they weren't. They
just look like old white men to me.
Basically, they are, and it's a characterization of different bankers I looked up from the robber baron era of everyone from Warburg to Rothschild to Rockefeller. These guys are twisted, gnarly-looking old men, and that's what I wanted to interpret, was just the greed and, you know, the twistedness within them.
Well, I guess when you provoke so many emotions that, you know, people really don't like it, and they try to remove the art. I mean, was it ever removed? Did you have to paint over it, or did that kind of die down?
No, the mural was vandalized by some local people that disagreed with it, and it eventually had so much controversial interaction going on, it got whitewashed.
Oh, it's so unfortunate.
But it had a life for about 3.5 weeks, I believe.
And it's also lives on the internet. You have these incredible videos of you with, you know, in fast motion, painting some of these murals. I wanted to show another one called Humanity versus the Machine. It's in Culver City. Yeah. It depicts factory farming, the industrialization of food, GMOs. It's almost this battling image with the natural world, people on an organic farm. What drove you to create this piece?
Just being a human and just getting let down with the world out there, seeing what's going on, the desire to eat clean food, to breathe clean air, to live a clean, healthy life, opposed to this factory-driven, toxic waste, just becoming another number in society reality. It's really a letdown to grow and live this life, to see that this is what the world is slowly becoming. So I use this art to, once again, interject this message into society so that we begin the conversation around it, hopefully waking people up, inspiring people to think outside of this nightmare that's we're slowly waking up to.
And yeah, indeed, it really is amazing, the industrialization of food, really disturbing. I wanted to show another one, Allegory of Complacency. You have a lot of symbolism of the all-seeing eye and the pyramid, and underneath you have us, the masses. In this mural, you have this single man who seems to be rising above it all. Talk about why you use this symbolism of the all-seeing eye, the pyramid, and kind of someone kind of rising above it.
Well, the person rising above, I see in myself, and I see in people who have liberated themselves to the point that they can think outside of the standard story, and that's called the Conscious Objector. And he's the narrator, and I use this type of imagery sometimes to convey that this is a story, and it's being told through an individual who has evolved beyond it and has the ability to relay this story to the public. The all-seeing eye is an ancient symbol that goes back way beyond Egypt. I believe the eye, in general, universally represents a level of human consciousness and deep within our mind. But it also is a co-option of that consciousness, and it represents many other things. Hierarchy, the eye of Lucifer, the eye of Horus, which comes from ancient Egypt, which was a hierarchical form of rule over people. And so,
yeah, I mean, it's so powerful of a symbol that the elite have really seized that. I mean, you see it inherent in so much commercialization of different products. The establishment
Time Warner
uses it. It's a very powerful,
logo.
yeah, exactly. It's a really powerful symbol, and that's why I like that you're kind of flipping it on its head and really showing it for what it is. I wanted to talk about another painting, actually. It's where you've constructed Obama. You have Rumsfeld, Bush, the surveillance state. I mean, is this kind of symbolic for that Osama bin Laden was just a construct created by the establishment to create perpetual fear?
I believe so. When you do enough research into the actual information behind September 11th and everything else that's kind of happened since then, and when you start looking into the past, everything from the overthrow in Iran, the revolutions, what took place in Central and South America during the 1970s and early 80s, you start to realize that there's a lot of lies we've been told, and that there's a lot of uncovering information we need to go through right now, and we need to add this into our discourse.
Indeed,
otherwise we're going to continue to be ruled by a lie of the past, which
absolutely
I believe is the problem.
Absolutely, Mear, and unfortunately we're out of time. Amazing art. Everyone check it out. Mear One, muralist artist. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.